comments on OBS.
You don't need to announce that. I can see that from over here because Restream is receiving you.
That's good.
Twitch is live. We're getting ads for Amazon Prime again, and YouTube is live too. We've done it, everybody.
Good, good.
Hip hip hooray us.
Alright, I'm gonna drill down towards the gold and see if I can pick up silver underfoot.
Woo! Right. I'm not sure if I'm happy with the tropic design.
Do we need gold for anything?
Gold. Thrusters probably need it.
Yep, but Bum's back confirms that YouTube is working.
I'm aware. Thank you very much still. No, I'm not happy with this.
Oh, do you want to take the ice, Mia? Because I'm just...
Welcome to Mia doing some nonsense.
Still no signs of silver. Where'd the gold go? Oh, the gold's there. Okay. Sal, I can't believe you don't link Mia's channel in the description. Well, Mia does the descriptions himself. Ooh, we have gold. Shall I collect the gold?
Yes, sure, why not?
Means I won't be able to carry silver even if I do find
find the silver first, bring the gold back later.
Well, I can't guarantee I'm going to find... Well, I'll tell you what, I'll grab gold.
Grab like a handful, but, you know, don't fill yourself up.
I can fill myself up and then I'll just throw out anything that we don't want to keep. If I do find silver, that is. Okay, I think I've actually mined lower than the gold now. Still no sign of silver down here. I guess I'm just going to collect gold.
In some instances I had to shuffle around a bit until I found it.
Yeah, I've run around in circles on the surface. My inventory's full now. Okay, let's... I think looking for silver is a no-go.
Okay, fire.
Let me...
Fine point.
That's... that one. Okay. Scalable pineapple is over there. What's own signal? Oh, that must be my ice. Or silver, or silicon or something. Okay. Oh, did I say hello to Spotty Cow? Who says moo? Good moo to you, Spotty Cow. Bobom says it has no content, but he doesn't like people subscribing to him, so subscribing to him, says Spotty Cow.
Yes, perfect. Or maybe not. Grrr.
Right, let's try not to hit the trees. Well, look, there's like a patch of spotty grass there. But I don't think... It's supposed to be dark spots, isn't it? Not light spots on the grass. Oh, that's the assembler. Where's the... How do I get into the... Where's my cryo chamber gone, man? How do I get into...
The cryo chamber's up top.
How do I get into the hydrogen producer now?
Oh,
I think you've covered it up.
I did cover it up. I'm sorry. It'll come back eventually.
But I need to swap my hydrogen bottles.
Well, just go into any cargo port and swap it out there.
Is it linked?
Yes, they're all linked.
Okay. Oh, so it is. I need to empty my inventory first. There we go. A little bit of gold. Cell says, come on now, Mia. It isn't rocket science. Terry says, build Thunderbirds 3, Mia. Babom says, when this rocket fails, can we have a space elevator? Oh, we could, couldn't we, Mia? Can we... Is there any build limits? I mean, could we feasibly... Well, not feasibly, but could we theoretically...
Technically, yes, we can.
Just build a big tower?
We could.
I wanna.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Bernie says, right, I'm back. What horrible crashes did I miss? Went to get a drink, then was roped into a conversation. Really inconsiderate how people tend to do that. Sil says you missed nothing. Yeah, I mined a bit of gold and flew back. There was nothing. I couldn't find silver there. So I suspect I'm not going to be able to find silver with this hand drill. Unfortunately, to get another hand drill, I need silver. What about the medium hand drill, Mia?
No, we already are going for the medium hand drill.
Okay.
The proper hand drill takes platinum, and we've got no chance of getting that.
Yeah. Hmm. So it's just what I can find with this drill. Unless I was to build a big ship ore detector. Oh no, I'd have to power it, wouldn't I?
You do.
Yeah, I was just thinking I could stick it on a grid and just walk around, like plop a grid down, build the ore detector and see what was there. But no, I'd have to build all of the infrastructure as well, so that's too much. At Sal, space space elevator can be done with a tower in 2 parts. The YouTuber Epic Tetanus already tried. I told you about that last week, for crying out loud. Yeah, but you know, that was last week. So much has happened since last week. We had a guy with an exploding briefcase in the office. We had a jailbreak. We lost a rover. It's like busy times. Flew into a tree. It's pronounced Titus. Okay.
Tetanus.
Does the cryo chamber not fix your health?
No, I don't think so.
Titus, like the Greek philosopher. My favourite ancient Greek character is Pittacus. Just as a... I know that's irrelevant, but Just saying. Ah, yes, the philosopher of elevators. Right, let's see what I can find. I'm just in the mood for a bit of wandering around while Mia does actual work. This is almost like the office, really.
You haven't actually explained what I'm doing in the office, by the way.
Whatever I tell him to do, really.
I mean, yeah, basically that's it. She gets to lounge around at home while I'm sitting there doing work, like dealing with Angela.
I broke you out today.
I mean, yeah, you did, but I wasn't done yet. I was about to do some SmackDown things. I was holding her rooms hostage. Just got an achievement for the bigger they are.
Angela. Yeah, indeed. Oh, is that some spots there, or is that shadows? I'm going to Skyrim
We
it.
do need
Skyrim
a
it.
ridiculous amount of cobalt, by the way, to run all these thrusters.
To build all the thrusters.
That too.
Well, cobalt's not a problem, because I already have a cobalt mine. And it does... I was going to say meltdown. It refines quite well. It's cobalt. I'm going to switch off a lot of these GPS signals. Is that Angela Miracle that you're having to deal with me?
No, that's a different Angela.
Yeah, everybody warned Mia about Angela. But would he believe us? No, he said.
I gave her
"Seems
the
like a
benefit
really
of the
nice
doubt.
lady. She's only ever been nice to me," he says. And we said, "Ha ha ha, just you wait and see."
And I would have maintained that opinion if she hadn't wronged me in her email. Like, it was really nice. I helped her out a whole lot. I did so many bloody things. I reorganized all those dumb rooms just so she can have her dumb strategy director lounging around in a proper room that she failed to organize at the start of the year. And because I'm diligent with my rooms, I'm hoarding them all like a dragon.
Mia is the dragon of rooms.
Well, no, I'm not a dragon of rooms. I can't spit them. But I hoard them like a dragon would.
Yes.
Anyway, after I've done all of that, I just had one simple request that I sent to both her, the strategy director, and the author. It was about getting a report that they had. Something along those lines. And at the time, she was on holiday, and I didn't receive an answer back from the strategy director, nor the author woman, which has said, okay, fair point, they're busy people, I'll wait until Angela's back, because as a personal assistant, she should be capable to find those things without it being a heavy tax on her time. And then when she came back, I gently nudged her and said, I know that you probably have got a ton of emails in your inbox, but to speed things up a little bit, here's just a friendly reminder that I'm looking for that. But, you know, no rush. It's all fine.
Except it was against the clock.
Yeah, I did partially hint at that, but I didn't, tell her that she is at fault for it being late, and then she scolded me for reminding her of an email that I sent to her while she was out because her emails are not monitored. So obviously everything that I have done or sent to her during the time when she was on holiday does no longer count for her at all forever. So in her book, those 2 weeks didn't exist, and because I sent her this little teensy tiny request during the time she was there, nothing about it is supposed to be done in her book. And it infuriates me so much.
So yes, Mia gets salty in the office just like he gets salty here. By the way, happy first contact day, happy first contact day, everyone. Today, in about 44 years, the Vulcans will land in Montana for the first official contact between humans and extraterrestrials. Live long and prosper.
Hip hip hooray for them.
44 years, that's like hip hip hooray for us as well.
What? No, I'll plan to be dead by then. It's part of the pensioner lifestyle.
You can't be a pensioner unless you've worked long enough in which to earn a pension, Mick.
You
So you
underestimate
can't
my
die.
ability to be a poor pensioner.
You can't die until you've earned a pension, otherwise you won't be a pensioner. I don't know about Vulcans. Spock seems to be the only one who does anything interesting. All the others just seem like bad copies. Mira's turning into a demon. Gollum just came out again. Did she have an auto-reply telling you that she was out and the name of someone who will be handling her work in her absence?
She did not mention anyone who was handling her work in her absence.
She is
but
kind
she
of
did...
bottom of the pile of that directorate. She's like the admin lady of the... So when she's away, it goes up the tree, so she put her director as the person to contact in her absence. So she wasn't covering his work.
He was supposed to cover her work.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was just a friendly reminder telling her that, you know, this is something that it would be handy if it happens eventually.
Terry says, don't knock the pensioner lifestyle. I'm loving it. Mia would like to be enjoying the pensioner lifestyle now. Thing is, was that today I tried to break him out of work, like jailbreak him, because I'd sent him into the office. He'd gone into the office about 7 a.m. and it got to, I mean, just to explain, there are some months of the year where I do like 80 hours a month and stuff. There's certain months of the year where I do ridiculous amounts of hours. And so when I don't have to do ridiculous amounts of hours, I make it a policy to skive off a fair amount to sort of balance it out. And then that way I don't feel aggrieved at all about working ridiculous hours when they really need me to. So, so today I was feeling lazy. And I was chatting with Boris and Almond, and I thought, I don't really feel like going into the office today. I feel like slouching on the sofa. But I felt really bad because I'd sent Mia into the office early. Well, no, I send Mia into the office. Mia chooses to go in at that ridiculous hour of the middle of the night. And so Mia was already in there, and I thought, just doesn't seem fair because, like, Mia's bottom of the pile in our team, and I knew that his workload wasn't particularly busy. This is as quiet as we get. It's hardly ever, it's a special occurrence that we've got a very, very quiet week. And so I thought, it's not really fair on Mia if I decide to bunk off work and then I leave Mia in the office to like fight with Angela over something and nothing, and for him to find work to do, because leave him 5 minutes and he'll find work. Even if there's no real work to do, he'll find somebody else's work to do instead if I don't keep an eye on him. So I said to Boris and Almond, because we were in the middle of a conversation, I said, give me 30 minutes and I'll be back. So I'm going to go jailbreak Mia. So, because I live It's about a 5-minute walk to the office. So I thought 5 minutes there, 5 minutes back, and enough time to like tell the story as to what it is that we're doing, the reason why we're not in the office, and to say bye-bye, have a good weekend, everybody. Mia, I really, really need you to do this important piece of work. So I went into the office, explained to Mia about this really important piece of work that we needed to be doing right now, which meant that we would need to be in the office next door. And so, come on, quick, grab your stuff, let's go. And it took me an hour to break him out the office because he was, I'll just do this, I'll just do that, I'll just do the other. Hang on, Angela's sent an email.
I'm trying to work out a feud with her at the moment, where after she insulted me in her dumb email, where I'm now holding her dumb rooms hostage. Oh, she wants those dear rooms so much. Well, I can't release them until you give me your backup room. And then, as soon as she does, I'll let her sweat, because then I'll be sitting on both rooms, and I'll leave her to wait. Wait and suffer.
You're going to torture her with rooms.
That's the only thing I have.
It's the power I've given you, isn't it?
Yeah, well, A, that, and B, it's the only thing I really have.
At Sal, I've never heard 8 a.m. referred to as the ridiculous hour of the night before. No, 7 a.m. Any hour can be a ridiculous hour of the night if you try hard enough. Depends when you get up. Indeed. I'm lucky enough to have a director who is kind of a similar mindset. I mean, he doesn't get to be quite as late in the office as me. I mean, I get to work my own hours. He's a bit at the beck and call of other people a bit more. But I know that he was at an off-site meeting today, and I'd said to him last night as he was leaving, was he coming into the office on his before he went off to this off-site meeting today? And he said, it depends. It depends. He says, depends on what time I can get my backside out of bed tomorrow morning, really. And it's like, yeah, I know that feeling. Cell's saying nonsense to ridiculous hour of the night for 7 a.m. Terry says, Sal, to jailbreak Mia, first drug Mia. Cell asks about jail spelt G-A-O-L. So that's the old English way, and is still used in Welsh, actually, for jail. It's, yeah, it is. It's the old British way of spelling jail, G-A-O-L. Although the sort of dictionary way of spelling it is J-A-I-L. Oh, but Mom didn't know that either. Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember it, but I did once read the history of when it went from jail with a G to jail with a J. But recent enough that some names still keep the old version. Why don't I get ice when I walk over ice? What's with the background noises? Be professional, streamers, please. Sorry, that's me having a drink. I've got a plastic bottle by my side instead of a drink in a cup. And Terry says I'm an old British bloke. That's why he still knows the old British words. I think maybe you should have the ice, Mia.
Oh yeah, right. I was sitting in a cryo
simulator
chamber and switched back to you so people don't have to watch that, and then I forgot. I don't know how to handle this dumb front bit. Our catwalk's airtight.
I doubt it.
Ah!
Bernie says good. I was starting to feel cold watching Sal walk across the snow. Terry says jail with a G is derived from the French. Mia, can you pronounce that word?
I probably can, but I can't see it from over here.
It's there, look, see.
French le girl?
Okay. Mia speaks a little bit of French.
I tried to stop.
Except when we were in France.
I don't like the French. We have a very strained relationship.
Can't remember what it was we needed to speak to somebody in French about. Was it just ordering a coffee or something like that, and I ended up doing it? Because you weren't. I'm useless at languages, but I'm not so bad at reading languages. I can usually learn how to read a language a lot easier than I can learn how to speak it. But the little bit of foreign languages that I do know, I generally only remember when I'm with somebody else who doesn't speak it any better than me and we're in one of those emergency situations. By emergency, I mean somebody needs to direct the taxi driver or somebody needs to place the order. And I thought that the other person was going to do it, and then it suddenly turns out that they're not going to. And so I don't have any time to build up any sense of panic about speaking a foreign language. It just, whatever I can remember at that moment. That's when I speak best. Some people speak foreign languages the best when they've had a bit of alcohol. I speak foreign languages the best when I don't realise I need to do it until the last moment. Sel says, well, what do you like, Mia? I don't, that might have been a while ago, so I'm not sure what
London.
Not London. Okay.
Anything, most things that are not London or associated with London or know about London or exist is somewhere close by to London, close by being mean distances.
Well, that's like Terry's place.
I don't like London.
You're insulting Terry's hometown.
I'm insulting everyone equally.
Silver!
Good.
My random walk-ins paid off.
Well done. Can you spot some spots now that you're here?
No, it's under the ice.
Ah, of course. The ice's fault.
Only I didn't spot it until I was quite a distance away from it. Am I digging straight down? I think I'm digging straight down. I'm trying to dig straight down. Mia, that was racist, and if there's one thing I can't stand, it's racism. Actually, there's two things I can't stand. Racism and the Dutch.
I'll take that back. I like the Dutch.
So Mia likes anti-London. Babom says, I speak foreign languages best in the old colonies, where they speak English. What's going on here? Oh, hang on. I am digging further away from the silver instead of closer. That might be it. Looks, is that? Or is it just stone? Let's check. No, that was stone. Well, let's just grab a face full of whatever I've got here and then... No, that is all stone. Let's keep digging towards the silver then. My head appears to be in the rock. I'm seeing flashes of things that have ore in their title. Yeah, there's silver ore here. Mia, I'm getting silver!
Hip hip hooray.
Let's see if I can just separate out the silver from the
inverted.
stone here. Before I empty my inventory. Silver,
Where's
stone,
that other
stone,
block?
stone. So where's the... I can't figure out which way's up and which way's down. Ah, okay, there's... Is that the down or the up? That must be the down. Yep, that's definitely the down. Okay, any more? Right, so this must be silver here. Let's grab that then.
Wait, is the only thing you need silver for getting a better drill so you can find more silver?
Pretty much.
No, that's not how it works.
Well, we can also... It also means that we can build things like med bays and stuff.
Well, we can build mid-base with the silver that we already have.
We don't... Do we already have silver?
Well, now we do because you found it.
Oh, okay. I wonder what on earth you were going on about then? I've missed a bit in chat. Something about 46 years. Bernie's saying something to Tammy. But Bob's saying, wait, is the only thing you need silver for getting a better drill so you can find more silver? Indeed. Sil says, well, they do need silver for other things too. But yes, Sally's drilling for a drill. It would be wonderful if you already had all the silver you needed. Let's grab more silver. Oops, saw some silver there and there. I think I just picked up a little bit of stone. All right. Now I've just got to get out of this hole. Let's GPS this one. So this is the silver mine. Let's see, so what's the name of the rocket ship? Crash and burn? This rocket is far too heavy already. It will not leave the gravity well intact. Calling it now. Babon calls it Moon or Bust, should be the name. The Almine, says Bernie.
What? No. Oh, the Almine or Bust.
Yeah, he's
Thank
correcting.
you. Well, we haven't had the war story yet. At the moment, it's still the Almoon and the Mean. We're going to have the Almoon on the one side and the Mean on the other side, and then we'll have some civil war thing, and in the end we'll make up, abolish slavery, and then, make peace.
Don't we have to invent slavery before we can abolish it?
We'd first need to import slaves from somewhere. And the only place where we can import stuff from at the moment is... either the Mirth, and there are only 2 people there, and I can't really enslave them.
You. Mm-hmm.
And Mars.
Mm.
I feel like it would be considered a bit rude if we enslaved those people. How's this thing too heavy? This is perfectly fine.
You heard it here first, people. It is perfectly fine. Oh, the basic refinery won't refine silver.
Oh, right. Well, good thing I just started on a proper refinery.
More like complete bust. Maybe Mira's building a multi-stage rocket and will jettison the heavy bit. But the important part is the heavy bit. Imperfectly fine. You aren't thinking in mere logic, Sel. I am beyond mere logic.
Well, worst case scenario, I'll just slap on 2 more bloody atmospheric thrusters. We'll do fine.
Oh, can we not refine gold either?
No, I guess we need the proper one for this too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll weld that one up so we can refine it, but we'd need to move it by hand.
So you just named everything like a dyslexic. I thought Mia was Sal's slave, the way she sent him off to do her bidding. Yes, says Sal. Hey, I'm here. Mia's doing all of the work, no, not the work. I'm just running around gathering the resources that he tells me to gather.
I need iron. Lots of it.
Haven't found any.
Well, good luck. Have you made your drill yet? Oh, no, you haven't.
No, I can't refine the... Do you want me shall I build a big refinery? I mean, I'd just do it, but I know that you're going to...
I have a big refinery. All I need is people dumping stuff into it, like, for example, steel plates.
Okay.
So if you can do that...
I can do that.
For that, we'd need more iron, I assume.
Okay, I can go mine stone.
Yes.
I mean, there's this big hole here. We had a little hole, didn't we? Wasn't it around the back here?
We did have a little hole, yes. Motors, large steel tubes.
I'll go and get that thing. Well, actually, that's really close. Let's see if we can get there and get it ground down within 6 minutes. And who knows, it might even have an upgraded drill in it. But if it's one of those flying ones, then... Oh, I'm bouncing. Didn't know you did that. No, it's not a flying one. Right, where's the button? It's there. Okay. I got a cow helmet. Yay! Yes, that is the parachute hatch. Where's the inventory? The inventory must be on the other side. I want to just get... There it is. What have we got in there? Steel plates, components... Oh, hang on. Has Mia parked his grid over the little hole? I don't think so. The little hole was behind rather than in front. I seem to remember. I'll find it. I'll fall down it. It was well hidden in the grass. But this has given us steel plates as well. And construction components and stuff. Nice. Cow helmet, police rifle and rainbow tools. You are officially the YMCA. I should probably get a little bit of health as well while I'm here. Cell says that no, Mia hasn't parked the grid over the little hole. It is to the left. Okay, Mia, I have things in my inventory. Where's the refinery that you need me to weld up? I'll put all this stuff in it.
You only need steel plates now. About 300 of them.
I shall put the rest of this stuff back. Right, the little hole was to the left. The left behind here?
Isn't that the right?
Well, it depends on which way you're looking.
Fair point.
So are these drop boxes basically loot boxes? Yes. They're also killer loot boxes. At Sal, by the way, in yesterday's last stream, after I left for bed, you said I was your record keeper when someone asked you when you streamed for the first time. And whilst I don't know the answer to that, YouTube tells me... What was that? Oh, I just got a thingy. YouTube tells me that you uploaded your first SE solo video about 4 years and 5 months ago. Killer whack. Indeed. They hurt if you headbutt them at high speed. What's that? A silicon wafer just on the floor?
They happen.
Huh. Are you about to finish that refinery now? Did I load up with ore?
Your drill's being produced.
Lovely. So...
The silver's already in the refinery, but it's not connected to this outside base system.
I shall drop this gold over there as well.
Your drill is ready and sitting in the assembler.
Lovely. There you go, I've loaded up the gold. I am useful.
Hooray! Your drill is still in the assembler.
275 wafers were on the floor. At Sal, if you remember, I asked you to restart this Space Engineer series back in October for your 4-year YouTube anniversary. Yes, I remember. In fact, that was why I was saying Bernie knows he's our record keeper, because it was you who knew how many years. 'Cause I forget to count. You knew which month and how many years it was, whereas I generally remember that it's October, but I can't remember which year it was. But Mom says, and Sal has accepted that they don't explode. No. Probably not, Babom. No, they do explode. They explode if you are near them when their time runs out, but apparently it doesn't do you any damage. Maybe one day we will test that. Right, where's my upgraded drill? Woohoo! Even the first upgrade would have helped, I think. I'm gonna drop off my welder, because I might come across one of those thingies while I'm out, so I'll keep the grinder on me. In fact, why don't I take the upgraded grinder? Put them in the right order. That'll do. October the 26th. Right, that is the day before my sister's birthday, which is 2 days before my dad's birthday. So 26th was my first stream, 27th is my sister's, 28th is my dad's. Right. So I should be able to remember that because of the sequence. 2014, okay. Do we need more silver? Do I go back to the silver mine?
No. Prime resources we need at the moment are iron, ice, and cobalt.
Well, if I go get ice, I will be mining stone at the same time. Ooh,
how are we doing for time, by the way? It kind of feels like it's time again.
No, 10 minutes.
Oh, how surprising. Cargo container.
That's the
more batteries.
Ice mine. And let's see that. Ice mine. The silver mine is not much further than the ice mine.
Hooray.
We know some dates to start Sal's family tree. I did some research on my family tree. I found it really interesting. I'm in my G menu. Okay, right. You can go on there. You can go on there. Yeah, dates aren't much good without years, it's true. Okay, so if I drill just straight, I'll get ice and I'll get stone. Here's our dates. It's a start, says Terry. Yes, I discovered that one of my actually, I think it was my great-great-grandmother, comes from the far north, like the Scottish Islands. Babom says, can I request a stream? Start a prison architecture multiplayer game and invite some of the other Niddites to create the worst prison. That might be interesting.
It does sound like a fun thing to do, I suppose.
I want to play... I was going to drop this in... Well, I suppose... Lost. Terry says, I've done a fair bit of my family tree, mostly boring. Lots of agricultural labourers, fishermen who never moved more than 109 miles from where they were born. Until the 1900s. Mine turned out that there's no like famous people or anything like that in my family history that I've come across yet. But what I have found is things like my great-great-grandmother who came from one of the Scottish Islands. I can't remember which one. I actually found the house that she was born in, which was in... it was more than just a great-great-grandmother. It was a bit further back than that, because it was the early 1800s, about 1820, I think. And the house is still there. You can go and rent it as a holiday cottage. But she moved from there to Birmingham, which is as far away from the sea as you can get. And she did that just after her mother died. And I've not found out what it was that killed her mother. But it does make me wonder whether her mum died like in the sea or something. Did she purposefully move as far away from the ocean as she could? And for to just move. She didn't move with anyone. She moved by herself. That's something that surprised me, actually, was how mobile the women were in my family. I thought that I'd always thought that like women in olden days didn't move around. They just like moved where they were told to go. But the women in my family have been really mobile. Terry says, my worry is my dad's side were all from Norfolk. So here's another tidbit of Sal's YouTube uploads that I find interesting. She streamed Skyrim for just under 1 year, from January the 19th, 2017 to January the 11th, 2018, in 46 streams, so only 6 absences from a 52-week year. Sal says maybe she was just scared of seamen. It could be. Yeah, maybe she had a bad experience with, I think it'd be mostly fishermen up there, but I'm not sure. I guess so. But yeah, it seems like it was such a dramatic thing to do. I think she would have been about 70, somewhere between 17 and 19, around about that sort of age, when she just up sticks and moved. And it's like, I wonder if she ran away, or whether her family knew where she'd gone, if she was still in touch with them and stuff like that. 6 minutes before end of stream, yeah?
Ah, those are pretty long 10 minutes, heavens.
And Bernie sees a very naughty pun in there. Sal, if they were in service, they could move with employees. Yeah, that's it. She didn't, though. She didn't move to... It wasn't like she was the maid of a family and the family moved. She moved by herself, and she wasn't... Because I did find that with a different relative. It was like a male relative up one of the other branches of the tree. And he was a butler. And so he did move a few times because he'd move when the family moved. What else did I find that was interesting? There's one of my relatives who was, again, it was so many greats grandmother who grew up in a very, very small village. I mean, it's very, very small these days. It was tiny then. A very small village on the Lancashire-Yorkshire border. She was born in about the 1820s, 1830s, something like that. And she, again, randomly moved to Manchester, but that was around about the time of the Industrial Revolution, where it was. And she moved when she got to about marriageable age. And that's not a terribly far move, and she was probably still in touch with her family and things. And she met and married my so many greats grandfather. They married in Manchester Cathedral, which was apparently common because you had to, if you got married in whatever your cathedral catchment area was, you would have to pay a fee to the cathedral. So it wasn't uncommon to also to marry in the cathedral rather than pay 2 sets of fees. Do I go for that? Yeah, that's not going to be too far away. And so she married her and my however many greats grandfather moved in with his mother, where they had a couple of kids, and then my however many greats. Is that stuck in the tree? Oh, it's a flying one. Oh, these are awkward buggers.
They usually calm down as soon as the small battery runs out. They
Oh,
never
do I
have
have
a
to
lot of
wait for
charge.
Because I can never find the buttons on them either. No, the button's underneath. I'll get the motors. Oh no, I'm not sure it is a flying one after all that. It's a rolling one. Yeah, and so my however many greats grandfather, I've got cow boots.
Hip hip hooray.
He then went into business, bought a piece of farmland or something. But it was just before there was a big political change in the UK. Something to do, I think it might have been the introduction of the Corn Laws or something. Can't quite remember. I used to know, but I've forgotten now. And so he went bankrupt. Back in those days, going bankrupt was a big bad thing. And so by this point, I think they had 5 kids. They moved to Liverpool to go and live in a 1-room back-to-back slum house with her. It was her, her sister or her brother, and then he died not long afterwards. And so it ended up with the widow and one of her daughters, because the kids were all grew up by the time of the next census. One of her daughters had also got married and had a son, but she'd been widowed as well. So it ended up with the 2 of them living in this slum house. All of the other kids had grown up and moved out. By the time of the next census, they'd found their own place and they'd started up their own business, which appeared to be making some sort of confectionery thing. And I don't know whether it was a bakery or I'm not quite sure, but confectionery was their business and they were running a business out of their home. And 20 years later, the older widow had retired and was recorded in the census as being living off her own means, and the younger widow was running a bakery, and her son and his wife then took over the business in later years and turned it into quite an industry. And then it was all bombed by the Germans and they lost everything. But I thought it was a really interesting story to sort of see how it had kind of like how these people have moved from different parts of around the UK, and the story of sort of the Industrial Revolution, and these things that you read about in history lessons start coming to life when you understand how they affect your own ancestors. Bernie says, at Sal, my maternal granny is from Slovakia. After the war, as a young child, she and her 2 younger sisters were put on a train to Germany and they were then adopted here. Oh, that's interesting. One of my on my mum's side, and one of my so many great grandfathers was Jewish from Poland, and a bunch of their family moved to Liverpool and set up a tailoring business there. But oh yeah, he is the proper skeleton in the cupboard, because he was married before he married my ancestor, but his wife died 6 months after giving birth to their first child, and then the child died. And then within a month of the mother dying, he remarried, and he remarried my ancestor. And then they had about 3 kids, and then she died. And their eldest child also. And it wasn't unusual for kids to die and stuff, but she died. And then he married a 3rd one. She actually divorced him, and then in his later years he married somebody who was an awful lot younger than him. Oh yeah, with the 3rd wife, the one who divorced him. No, there was 5 wives. It was the 4th one who divorced him, and when she divorced him, she'd had a son who she called Dale. When she divorced him, she married a guy who was called Dale, and speculation there, which I thought was I'm just fascinated by that sort of stuff. Then he married the wife who outlived him, who was an awful lot younger. He was in his 50s or 60s, and she was in her teens. So, more interesting story than my family, Sal. Your lot were peasants. Oh, I missed what I said that was so nonchalant. Like, yeah, no biggie. Time! There's Bernie. Yep, it is. An hour is up. All right, so, well, that's enough of my family history for now. Are we coming back, Mir?
We are, but let's give ourselves a bit of a break.
Okay. We shall be back shortly. We shall have a bit of a break.
After these messages.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We shall be back in a bit. Bye for now. Which button's the off button, Mir?